Welcome to Tech Conversations with Grace Chng, a podcast series by News on Tech, which aims to raise business leaders' intelligence on horizon and future technologies. So Tech Conversations will engage with tech experts, technologists, to highlight the technologies that have the potential to create significant and substantial advancements in the future, and that will impact society, communities, and industries. So today in the podcast with Kiar, an AI expert, her designation is Cognitive Solution Developer and Master Inventor at IBM. Welcome to this podcast. So Kiar, you are a Master Inventor at IBM. Okay, how many patents have you filed?
I filed close to maybe 20. As a master inventor, they also continuously contribute to bring up, the new employee or the new inventors in this space. So this is the areas that, I contribute a lot that being recognized for this award.
Oh, very good. How long have you been doing AI?
AI about close to 8 years.
Okay, so you are in a good position to tell us a little bit about AI and LLMs today, large language models. So can you just give us a quick update on where LLMs are today?
LLM definitely captured a great attention of the public, not only on the architecture, the model architecture only, but it's also in the area of advancement in the multi-model, the ethical consideration as well as the use case applications. Right, the trends that we are seeing today, from LLM to a small language model, which is very domain specific. Right, they are small in scale, safe, cost effective, as well as able to crunch the data for small business or specific domain.
Right.
Other than that, right, one of the excitement development that we are seeing today is the multi
Model,
right? That actually able to combine the different formats of the data, from text to video, audio, and music.
Okay, hold that thought. We'll come back to multimodal again. But you have many engagements with customers, right? So obviously, business users especially, are concerned about data accuracy, veracity, and privacy as well. So, what are some of the strategies that you will use in order to address these issues?
Yeah, great questions. Data definitely a core foundations of LLM. So making sure that there's no bias, the data quality is good, right? These are very crucial for LLM.
Right.
So in terms of biases, right, there are multi-faceted approach that we can address them. Diverse data sets to avoid the bias. Secondly, we always have the bias control or bias constraint, fairness constraint into the process of building the model that will eliminate the hallucinations. And third, we always consistently monitor the models, right, the model performance to make sure that there are no biases in the model and take actions when necessary.
Okay, so you would use a model an LLM that is already available, and then you build that data on top of it, and then you train that data to give you the accuracy that you want.
Yes.
And it is a process that continues on, right? It doesn't just say stop here and then you don't do anything else.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so it's a continuous process.
Yes. So if you look at it, right, from data to building the models, to after that, right, we consistently monitor all these processes.
Okay, so somebody has to sit there and see that responses generated are accurate.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Talking about LLMs, you have the public ones, right? And then you have the ones that you're talking about, the proprietary sort of data business model. Then you have the small language model, and then you have the RAG, right? So when is it that you use each one of these?
All right. So for public GenAI, this the LLM that we are talking is the AI models that accessible and applicable and available to general public. So these are large in scale, right? So for the small language model, these are small in scale. They are very specific to certain industry. So these normally very cost effective to certain domains such as healthcare and also maybe telecommunication.
How big will the parameters be, for example, for a small language model?
Yeah. So in terms of size for large language model, they are ranges from hundreds of billions to maybe a few trillions.
Yeah.
Well, for our SLM small language model, they are ranges from a few millions to just a few billions.
Is SLM used mostly for industry-wide, or an enterprise can also build their own SLM?
Yes. And it is so small in size where we can deploy them in a common hardware, such as the laptops, web browser, or even they can deploy on their own data center, which make the computations and inferencing closer to the source.
So it's faster and cheaper.
Yes.
Okay.
So SLM is also very good approach where we, for example, we use a bus to transport a person. Maybe this is not something that is efficient way to transport only one person, right? So in the enterprise or Gen AI context, bigger not always is better, right? So the key of business is really to tap on this valuable data in the LLM to choose the right vehicle while eliminate the empty seats. So maybe smaller model and domain specific like SLM is very suitable, right? On this kind of operations, right? Whereas for RAG, it is a technique that we use to introduce to make the LLM outputs more accurate.
So it's fine tuning.
Yeah, it's fine tuning. It's actually referencing to the authoritative knowledge base before respond the answers. So for RAG, this is one of the techniques that to optimize the output of the LLM by referencing to the authoritative knowledge base outside the training data of the current LLM.
Okay. Can you give an example?
For example, the recent projects that we have, we actually go out to the certain domain data lake or the website to pull data.
Okay.
We retrieve this data, and then together with the query, original questions, we send to the LLM to get more accurate and up-to-date information before respond to the user.
So there are two parts. You have to collect the data first, and then after that you go and look for other data that's related to the topic.
Yes.
Then you combine them, embed them, and then you train it again, and then you test.
Yes, and respond to the user.
So who would use an SLM and who will use a RAG?
If the business that need, for example, up-to-date and more trustworthy data, so you can also, by referencing to another large corpus of the data, send to LLM and respond.
Okay.
So you can do this in the SLM as well.
Okay, so it is mix and match.
Yes.
Okay. So when you do these kinds of projects, I'm sure enterprise users are always concerned about accuracy and hallucination. They want to know, how are the decisions made? How do you open up that black box to say this is how the decisions are made?
Okay, so here comes the interpretations of AI and explainability of AI, right? So the interpretability of AI is really focused on to interpret, to understand how this model works. As for the explainability, is really to give a reason how the AI model output is. So there are a couple of different methods. For the simple model, right, it has the intrinsic interpretability. So these are really relies on the underlying straightforward structure, such as decision tree, rule-based algorithm, as well as linear regressions. It's very easy for the human to understand how these work and how the model make decisions.
Right.
Whereas for some of the complex ones, it is really need the post hoc, we call it post hoc interpretability. So this is really to apply the interpretability methods to the pre-trained model to explain how the models behave.
So these methods would then show that this is how the AI works.
Yes.
So it gives the enterprise user a certain comfort level. In your engagement with customers, what else are they concerned about?
I think is the inherent weaknesses of LLM, like hallucinations, amplify the biases. These are the two that we always have a concern. Customer will ask,
Right.
how we handle this and all that. There are different methods to solve these, like using the diverse data sets. Right, these are one of the methods to control the hallucinations.
Spoke about multimodal just now, right? So AI, GenAI will be able to recognize text, image, audio. What about, can I ask the GenAI to give me a response in a multimodal format?
Yeah.
Is that something that's happening?
Yes. So for example, right, you can feed the multimodal with a picture,
Okay.
and then it will help to summarize, the written summary of this picture.
Right.
Right. In return, you can also give a summary descriptions of, a landscape, and then it will generate the image for you.
Okay.
Right. This is one of the applications. But if you look at this multimodal, really open up a lot of opportunity and potential in the AI space. A different multimodal.
But this year is also the year of agentic AI. Been descriptions of Gen AI as like the intern in your office, right? So with the agentic AI, it has also been described as the PhD employee in the office.
Yeah.
So what are your perspectives on this? What is an agentic AI to you?
Yeah. So, right, with the ability of what agentic AI is doing today, it opened up a lot of potential use cases, applications across the industry. Agentic AI, it is able to perform the tasks and make the decisions for the user by designing its own workflow.
Okay.
Right. So, for example, in the area of supply chain, the machines or the system is able to place the order to the supplier, adjust the production schedule, and while maintain the minimum inventory in the system, right? So this is one. And then maybe the use case in the healthcare, which is analyzing the variable parameter and adjust the treatment accordingly while sending the real-time data to the clinicians. This is another example. Yeah.
So the human is always in the loop
Yes.
and making the final decision.
Correct.
Right. Thank you for that update, AI, and your expertise have been recognized. You are a recipient of the Asian Women Technology Award last year in 2024, that's the inaugural batch. Tell us, how has this spurred you, in your career and in your, I'm sure you mentor and you guide other younger women. You need to share with us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so Grace, receiving this award is really, a great achievement and such an incredible recognitions for me. So I really feel that it is honored to be recognized together with a group of talented women. So to me, this represent both my personal journey as well as a great progress this all the women are making in tech industry. So it actually is something like a calling when I receive it, where I need to continue advocate the equality as well as inclusivity in this tech industry. I would like to really encourage all the women, do what they feel they are good in, right? And I will continue mentor, the young women and encourage them to, stand up to be a leader, if they want to.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Kiar, for sharing with us your comments. To our listeners, thank you for listening, and you can tune into this podcast at Spotify and Apple. And please leave us a review of the podcast too.